first of all, big congratulations for winning a Ferrari. How cool is that? A lot of people think I work for GVO or Joel or Pure Leverage, and honestly, I'm an affiliate just like you guys, but I put my hand up to be counted a few years back, and you're going to hear my story, and I was talking to a few of you in the audience that have already heard my story, so I apologize. You're going to get to hear it again. But I do what I do. Joel does not pay me. I'm out there marketing just like you guys are. And my goal's always been to be in the top 10 on the leaderboards. And Joel announced the Ferrari contest and told him I was going to win it. And I didn't win it. But I couldn't think of anybody better to lose to than someone like Russell Brunson, because in my career, Russell will tell you this, and you evolve as you grow with your online career. One of the things for me, honestly, was to be standing up here like I am now. I wanted to be one of the guys. You know, I wanted to be in that back room with a Russell Brunson. And we're going to talk about the power of association today. 5 years ago, things were totally different for me, guys. When I first met Joel Terrian. You know, the first 37 years of my life were awesome. And there was a little 3-year hiccup. And the last 5 years, although challenging, have been probably the best years of my life. And about 5.5, 6 years ago, and I gotta remember my dates now because I've been telling this story so long, I went through a terrible divorce. I have 2 children, 2 great children with my ex-wife. But after 18 years of marriage, it just wasn't working. And I don't know about a lot of you, a lot of it was my online efforts or my home business efforts. I had some success in network marketing. I started out with Amway. Anybody ever been in Amway? I love saying the word Amway because they gave me my start. And you know, at the ripe age of 21 years old, I was invited down to Dexter Yeager's house to this little secret event called Amity, and I felt like a rock star. But I didn't have the support at home. And you know, we can be honest here. We're all friends. We're here to evolve this weekend or this next couple of days. You know, how many people in the room right now are having challenges with their spouse and the support at home? You know, it happens. And for years I went with that challenge. And when I went through, like I said, 5.5 years ago, it's difficult for me to talk about because I had several successful brick and mortar businesses. I still do. A lot of people don't realize I own a grocery store, 2 real estate companies, a commercial real estate company and a residential real estate company, a hot tub company, a beauty salon, plus a whole arsenal of other stuff. Over 100 employees at the top in our grocery store. About 10.5 years ago, my brother and I would work as a family business, small 4,000 square foot grocery store up in Maine. My father brought me up as an entrepreneur, that you don't work for anybody else, you work for yourself. But he also taught me that you work long days, 7 days a week, which I still do, but I do because I want to. And it was that training with my father, a few things that he taught me growing up on the work ethic, and I know Joel's had a similar experience that I've been able to bring on to other people that maybe haven't been in business for themselves. But I was handcuffed, and I still am somewhat, to my traditional businesses. So I went through my divorce 5.5 years ago. It was a hellacious divorce. I'm not going to deny it, folks. I tried to be nice. But eventually, after almost 1.5 years of fighting with the legal systems and whatnot, I sat in a room with mediators. I looked at my ex-wife now and said, "What do you want?" She took 91% of every penny I was bringing in. Okay? I'm not begrudging her of that, please. I'm not talking bad about my ex-wife because I've got 2 amazing kids with her. And, you know, that's part of my character coming up through. So don't think I'm saying that, but it was an awakening to me. And again, those of you that have heard my story, I literally walked out with 4 boxes in the back seat of a truck that I still drive today. And I said to myself, I talked to some other people that had had some success and, you know, had the world right, the tiger by the tail, as they like to say. I'd done it once, I can do it again. And I knew I wanted to come back online. So throughout that whole time, through my first marriage, you know, I was network marketing. I I did great. I built myself up to $16,000 in 1 month I made, along with my brother. Then the internet came around. Started marketing online. Guess what the company did? Anybody guess? When I started marketing online actually back then it was MySpace. Boom, cut me off at the knees. That's when my relationship troubles happened. The income just left. Now, I don't know about you, but having this happen over and over, 2 other companies this happened with. Finally went through my divorce. I met my beautiful wife, Nina. You guys know I attribute her to everything. When someone believes in you, you can do absolutely anything in the world.
Yeah.
The last 5 years. 5 years ago, if you looked at me, guys, anybody ever seen The Munsters? I look like Uncle Fester, black circles around my eyes, humped over, walking around. I literally, and I know I still look a little bit like Uncle Fester. I did, I looked like Uncle Fester. And this beautiful woman came into my life. And she looked at me. And she actually took me, and I ended up moving in with her. And we just moved into our dream house a year ago last April, 6,400 square foot home up in Maine. 2-car garage, guest suite, 3,000 square foot Jay Leno's detached type garage. Well, I'd forgotten something that I told her 5 years to the day. We laid in bed that night and I promised her, because things were tough. I had borrowed $20 on the weekend. I had my own kids to take my kids to the movies. Okay? Things were tough, guys. And a lot of you may be going through that now, having the challenges to even get here. But we laid in bed, and I looked at her and I said, honey, in 5 years, I'm going to buy you your dream house. And I'm going to talk a lot about things today, but I'm going to bring it back around to your association and talk about moral marketing too. I forgot I even said that. And on April 1st of last year, we moved into our new house and we were going to take a week to do it. We said, you know what, the heck with it. Let's grab everybody, let's grab the trucks, let's get everything moved in one day. Got the bed set up, the kids moved in. We laid in bed that night and that's when Dina said, do you remember what you said to me 5 years ago? To the day. To the day. I had forgotten it. How amazing is that when you throw something out into the universe and let God take his will? Because I'll tell you, it wasn't me. I don't know how it happened. I really don't. Sometimes you just have to let go and trust your instincts. Okay? When I do this, it means write something down, okay? I've written a ton of stuff down that Russell's presented this weekend. By the way, one of the best events I've ever been to, again, they came from Russell. So that 5-year mark, I talked to my wife, I moved in with her, we were living in a small double wide, nothing wrong with a double wide, but 900 square feet. Melded family, her 2 children, and now my children. I said, I want to get back into network marketing. So I hooked up with an old colleague, and he was starting an online company that did web conferencing, did email, and I became his guy that did the webinars. Well, come to find out it wasn't really his company. I'm not mentioning names, but I'm still great friends with this person, the CEO of that company. It was owned by actually one of the competitors. So we weren't heading in the direction that we were going in. So I then was online and I saw this company called Kiosk, and I heard about this little thing called GBO that was going to launch. And I remember sitting down and writing the email. I'd had some great success with this other company. And by great success, I thought $3,000 to $4,000 a month was great success. And that is, don't get me wrong, $200 a month is great success. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So I found a contact me form on this guy by the name of Joel Terrian, this big musclehead guy. You know, I'm going, really? Shot him an email, because I was looking. Because we were competing against each other. This company wouldn't make the changes necessary for us to grow our incomes. So I shot an email out to the guy sitting up in the back door, and I remember the next thing I know, I get a phone call. It's Joel Terrian. I said, hey, that simple. The decision was made. I was with a company that had the technology down, a company that was quick to change. Here's one example. The first day I was on board with GBO, I called Joel and I said, I love the video hosting and streaming product, but here's the thing, I give on my blog, it only auto plays, and I need to have a start-stop button. He's like, oh, cool, that's right, I didn't even know we didn't have that. That's 5 years ago, so a lot's changed in 5 years. Well, the whole 15 minutes later, he calls me back and goes, oh, that feature's in there. I mean, that's the type of company that you have that access and can do the recommendations to the product. Because he's not just the CEO of some company, he's somebody that truly cares about your success. So, what do I attribute my success to? Well, number one, you guys heard me, my beautiful wife, Dina. Without her telling you guys, and you guys all get to meet her at the Pure Leverage event, I would be nowhere. How do you get over those challenges with your spouse or significant other is not supporting you? What I did was sat at the kitchen table and actually talked about my dreams. Got her involved. Now, she doesn't work the physical business with me, but she does so much on the back end, it's scary. Okay? People I've met here, I've sent her the contact information. She's logging it for me. She books my airline flight. She books, I don't even know what airport I'm at. I call her, what airport am I at? And she tells me. So we work as a team even though she's not out there doing the physical marketing with me. It's very important. It's important to have that family support, and you need to get to it, because I'll tell you why. You are going to come to a point where you're going to take risks with your money. One thing I never want you to do, never spend your mortgage money on a solo ad. I've told people that. But here's the thing. You need to spend money to make money. We call it like we see it. We're very transparent. If it wasn't for solo ads, I would not be on the leaderboards on GBO and Pure Leverage. You need to take those risks and believe in yourself. It's no different than a traditional business. And one thing I want to tell you, I own a grocery store, and even though this is recorded kind of confidential, we do just under $10 million a year in volume. I can tell you in the first 45 days of Pure Leverage launching, I made 4 times the income that I make from that grocery store that I personally owned with my brother for the last 12 years. I made more profit on that simple $125 investment. Now, if I go out and ask every single one of you right now, give me $125 at my grocery store that's doing just under $10 million?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Is there anybody in this room that would not find $125 right now to buy my grocery store that's doing just under $10 million? You got the same thing at your fingertips, not just with Pure Leverage. There's several other opportunities out there that you can follow Russell with. Guys, it's silly when you're in traditional business and I can in 45 days replace an income that I've worked over 12 years and I'm $1.2 million in debt for. And I have just under 100 employees right now. Everybody's problem is my problem. My employees, don't get me wrong, but it's just crazy how handcuffed you are. So let's talk right now about association. Those of you that have been on my webinars, every single week I mention this. Your success is determined by the 5 people you most commonly associate with. I'm sure you've all heard this. Okay, has anybody not heard this? If you haven't, raise your hand. Take the income of the 5 people you most commonly associate with, add their income up, divide it by 5, and I guarantee that's what you make. At every point in my life, I've been able to do this. I've done it with my father, I've done it with Joel. Every single person that I know, if you take the income of the 5 people you most commonly associate with, add it up, divide it by 5, that's what you make, guaranteed. Now, let's not make this about the income. Here's the thing, and let's not make it about, oh, that jerk Mark, he told me not to hang out with my best friend who just lost his job. That's not true at all. Or your cousin who's down on his luck. Or this guy who's only making $20,000. Those are your buddies. But when it comes to your business world, you need to change your association to like-minded people and go to where you want to be. Now, unfortunately, we always bring it around to income. But how do you associate with those people? People ask me, well, how are you speaking at Russell Brunson's event? How are that are going to take action on what Russell has taught you, including myself, and stand out amongst the crowd. All of a sudden, you're going to see your career start to change because now you're going to become an equal. And when and how that happens is astonishing to me because one day I woke up and I was there. And that's how it's going to happen with you. So not only the income level of the 5 people you most commonly associate with, also look at the work ethic, the moral beliefs, the religious beliefs, and even the political beliefs. You are the aggregate of those 5 people you most commonly associate with. So take the income right out of the mix, because people always say, we always talk about income. That's what attracts people. That Ferrari attracted more business to Pure Leverage in month number 2, which is amazing. No other company's given away a $250,000 car on month 2. Than anything. It was the monetary stuff. You need to be careful who you follow and who you don't. Russell's one of the guys. How many people went out and bought the book that Russell mentioned yesterday? Anybody here? Because I did. First thing, Russell Brunson mentions a book. Trust me, I'm lying to you. I went right on and I bought it. Because what he's reading, I need to read. What Joel's reading, I need to read. Why is that? It's because it's the newest information that they're gathering from to then turn around and repurpose with you.
Yeah, right.
Don't you want to be that equal?
Yes.
I would recommend, I'm not going to get any kickback from Amazon, but if Russell mentions a book, I'd recommend, boom, I buy it. A lot of people say I don't like to read. I don't. I get the Audible version. I multitask. I shouldn't. I have to write things down because I forget, so when I do this again, it means write things down. But I was stupid too, because I can tell you, how many people can tell me how many steps go up the first flight of stairs coming up here? Anybody? 21. 19 coming up the second. I remember stupid stuff like that, but I have to write stuff down that I learned here.
Right on. Okay,
it's just silly how the brain works. So all my trials and tribulations, and last year, a little over a year ago, my online income actually went over and above my offline income. Now I have a family that believes that you have to get up 6 o'clock every morning, which I still do, go into work, and you work till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, okay? They don't have a clue what I'm doing. This sounds terrible, but until I shut them out of this portion of my life, because I was having to listen to their advice, which wasn't bad. They thought they were doing the right thing for me, okay? And giving me what are you spending money on that? Oh, you're crazy. You think they still don't know where my money came from. So Russell wins the Ferrari, what do? I didn't win the car. And I'm not really a flashy guy, folks, honestly. But I don't know. 3 weeks ago, bought my Porsche Boxster S, paid cash for it with the money that I made. So the things are great and they're awesome for social proof. I'm anxious to see what Russell does with this Ferrari for social proof. Okay? Because money is the allure. But when we get down to the brass tacks of who you should be associating with, some of the things that you don't see behind the scenes and you need to start learning. Because every one of you has the ability. My best month yet has been $77,000. That's not a bad month, folks. Okay? My goal was $100,000 this year in 1 month. And I'll get there. The flashy things are great, but you also got to look at the backstory of people. I know that, like me, a lot of things that people don't realize is this last Christmas, my wife came to me and she had a rough life growing up and didn't have the greatest, didn't have everything. I mean, I was telling Joel a story of my wife in junior high and her sneakers getting ruined that she had to wear to school because she was on the roof with her dad putting tar on the roof. So she's so appreciative to what we have in life. It's scary. Celebrate the small successes. She came to me last year and she said, Mark, I want to pick 5 families locally that are deserving. Mom and dad are both working. You know, they're not just looking for handouts. I don't want to do Christmas for them. So curses of people. It's those things that you don't see, but they're not sexy. Okay? We didn't do it for any publicity either. We made it clear nobody's to know that we did this. Even though I'm sharing this story with you, I'm trying to bring you down to what you have to have for a mindset. Write this down. I am one mind shift away from success. I am one mind shift away from success. That one mind shift could have come today from any one of the people speaking. As soon as you get your mind in the right direction, folks, of where you want to go and live as is, not as if. Okay, what do I mean by that? I mean, I never thought I'd be wearing a $750 belt. Things don't matter. My wife bought it for me because I never would wear a $750 belt. Belt's a belt, hold my pants on. That mind shift and where you have to change, you have to live as is, not as if. Again, don't spend your mortgage money. You need to protect your family. But in your mind, you need to be winning that Ferrari. I won that Ferrari, even if you didn't. All of you are here because you won that Ferrari. That's something to be proud of. Use the power of association. Right now, I was talking about how you can change who you associate with. Right now, you're changing your association. You're hanging out with the famous Russell Brunson. Okay? If you guys are not using that to your advantage, something's wrong. If you don't go back like he did and do a video like we discussed, and get it out to your one person on your list, if you only have one person, or get it on Facebook, then you're at this event and oh my goodness, you're not going to believe what I learned, and wait till I get back because I'm going to shoot you some videos and tell you what I learned. This guy, Russell Brunson, taught me how to do marketing. Don't you think by association, you haven't built your story yet, okay? But you can use his. His name's a household name in our industry. You guys are sitting here amongst 50 VIP guests. Don't you think you should be using that? On your break, I will be doing videos with fellow students on exactly what and why and what you learned, and do your aha moments, and I would do a video series on it. And I would get it everywhere because you know why? That associates you with that success. That's how you change your association. First time I had a conversation with Russell Brunson was, I think, a year and a half. Russell, when did you launch Illuminati? It was right after he launched Illuminati, and this video, guys, was like rocking. It was sexy. And I watched this Illuminati video, and you know, I love to read up on things. Like I just asked Russell some questions about his religion. I'm going to order the Book of Mormon and start reading on that. But I love to read things like the Illuminati, and Russell did a beautiful job of bringing around this secret group that controls the internet. I wanted to be part of that. So I bought this $97 a month continuity program. And Russell had this cool thing in it where if you signed up, you could text him 24/7. He would try to get back to you within, I think, 2 days. I was like, cool, I'm going to get Russell's phone number. He was smart because I could text him online in under 140 characters, but he did get back to me. I actually remember saying, hey, you and Joel got to hook up. Talk about GBO conference, talk about GBO's autoresponder, and conversing back and forth. That's how you change your association, folks. Follow the leader, but then become the leader by what they taught you. Take action on every single thing. This right here, I'm not kidding you. Joe and I were both blown away by this. And we're experienced marketers. You would think somebody that's made $77,000 in 1 month, it'd be hard to impress me. This is the most impressive thing I've seen in years, and I'm not kidding you, besides the pure leverage tools. So change your association, change your life. When you start to associate with somebody, make sure you go with somebody that you know has a moral ethic too. Okay? They care about people. My blog header, okay, write this down. You wrote the one thing down, I'm one mind shift away from success. One of my other coined phrases is, it's not always about the profit. It's about making a difference. It's not always about the profit. It's about making a difference. If you can find the avenue in your niche to make a difference in your reader, your viewer, whoever it may be, one-on-one, make a difference in their life, you'll make a profit. It'll automatically come. When I started thinking that, and money is sexy, guys. Okay, so unfortunately, you've got to lead with that type of stuff. How many people have met resistance with, oh, online stuff's a scam, this guy's a scam, Russell Brunson's a scam, Joel Terry's a scam? Here's your answer. One simple answer to everything. Write this down. I learned this from the founder of a nutritional company who I did some one-on-one consulting with. I don't know about all that, but what I do know is, I don't know about all that, but what I do know is, Russell's system, someone who meets you with resistance. Well, I don't know about all that, but what I do know is this lady, she made $12,000 using this system by simply buying solo ads. Isn't that cool? That Joel Terry man, all he cares about is collecting people's money. Oh, I don't know about all that, but I made $900 this month. There's your answer to everything. Don't fight their resistance, change their resistance. Mind change. Make sense? Are we on the right track?
Yeah, you bet.
I heard some powerful stories today. Yours wanted to make me cry. And, I'm going to give you a hug right now because I don't want to stand up and do it now, but I've got to stand I almost hate Russell teaching this stuff, and I'll tell you why. One thing, and I've never talked about this publicly, you guys are the first ones to hear this. When I was like 7 or 8 years old, I went to Disney World with my folks, and I went into the Houdini magic shop down there, and I bought my first magic trick. So I've always loved magic, and at one point I was made youngest professional magician, but then when I turned 18, that was too geeky, so I kind of got out of it. Well, recently, now that things are great, my wife kept saying, all you do is work, honey. I love work, don't get me wrong. I'm a workaholic, I can work 20, Joel tell you, 1:30 in the morning we're pinging each other with ideas. He's called me at 2 o'clock in the morning, what do you think about this? My wife's like, are you guys freaking mental? And I'm like, honey, I'm making you money, you can go buy new lawn furniture tomorrow, whatever. So I got back into magic. And these techniques that Russell's teaching you, I wish I had known them 5 years ago. I don't think you guys realize how powerful this stuff is. And when I say that's worth $1 million, I truly mean this is worth $1 million in your pocket. That one little diagram, I'm literally going to frame that and put it next to my computer. Joel said the same thing. We're going to start right, we've learned. And here we are, supposedly the successful guys. So you guys have this information along with us. It's brilliant. But I almost feel like Russell's giving out the magic tricks, like we're the magicians. And now you guys know the trick. Okay? You gotta let all that stuff go because it's about passing the torch. It's just like if I learn a trick, my daughter, she's not my blood daughter, but she is my daughter. She's a spoiled, rotten little girl, but she is just the love of my life. And Miss Otero, when I'm on these trips, the boys get mad because I call her and say, hey, Punky, I miss you, I love you. And what about us, Dad? And, I told her that she doesn't have a boyfriend until she's 17, she gets good grades, I'm going to buy her a Mercedes convertible. I'm driving her. The boys, I still haven't bought them a car and I'm not going to.
That's good.
This is what I want to do. I'm going to shift gears a little. I'm going to tell you some of the things that were most powerful for me growing up in this industry. And I've been blessed because I've had success with traditional network marketing and online network marketing. I can tell you online network marketing is 10 times better than traditional. Okay? It don't suck. I got a sign coming up to my house. When you drive up to my house that says network marketing don't suck. So write this straight down on a piece of paper. I want you to write B as in boy, D as in David, I as in Ida, L as in Lincoln. I used to be a cop, so I can do those phonic spellings. So BDIL, and this is where you need to spend your money. Now, a lot of you thought that I was going to come up here and teach you about the pure leverage tools, how to use them to make money. I don't need to do that because we have a guy by the name of Terry Anglin every Tuesday night that does brilliant trainings, and he does the training videos on how to use these tools. You guys want to hear the nitty-gritty on how to make money, right?
Yeah.
So the tools are the tools, and there's no better value out there than the pure leverage tools. BDIL, where do you spend your money? The first place you spend your money, and I learned this at that Amy breakout session with Dexter Yeager, a guy by the name of Tim Bryan. A little bit of the backstory on that was Tim Bryan lived in Westbrook, Maine. He graduated with my father, who was an Amway superstar right under Dexter Yeager, went on to make millions of dollars. At the age of 7 or 8 years old, I went to Tim Bryan's house with my father, and he showed my father the plan on a chalkboard. I was blown away at that age. That's when I got the bug for this direct selling. My father said no, he went on to be a successful traditional business person. We had hard times. I do remember going out to Dairy Queen was a big treat for us in our old Comet, but we couldn't afford to buy drinks. So my mother would bring our own little Tupperware jug of milk. Okay? So my father and mother worked their way up too. And you know, my father is extremely successful, and he's still one of my heroes, even though he doesn't know what I do. I think he thinks I sell drugs or something. So, BDIL, I learned this at that from Tim Bryan, who I had seen when I was 7 years old, now had a private jet, lived on the Gulf in Florida. Just a tremendous success. He got up there on this Sunday morning, and I remember at an event like this, and this is one of the most important things you can do is get your butt in a seat at an event. Okay? Especially these smaller ones, is so powerful. So he stood up there and wrote BDIL, and I've never forgotten this. Where you spend your money? First thing, write this down. Business. What's D stand for? Any guesses?
Brilliant.
Your debt. I stands for investments. And L, which is last in this list, is your lifestyle. Too often we do it totally the opposite way around. We start to make a little bit of money, especially online, and we go out and we buy that new car. Tim Bryan drove an old piece of crap Volkswagen and told the story about it and sat with me every single time until he could afford to go out and pay cash for that new car. Because he was taking his money and investing it back into his business. Because without your business, you're not going to generate the cash flow to buy your debt down. When you buy your debt down, that's extra cash to invest back into your business, and then you can do a few investments and make money work for you, but become debt-free first. And then lastly, your lifestyle. I just bought the car of my dreams because Russell kicked my butt in a contest, and I didn't get the frickin' Ferrari. But I paid cash for it, folks. I'm still driving that truck on an everyday basis that I have the 4 boxes in when I had my situation in life. Still driving it. It's got 180,000 miles. Still driving every day. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Is this good content?
Yeah.
So BDIL, don't do it the opposite. The first place you spend your money is on your business. Next, when you got your business up and running and the money's coming continually, okay, I recommend on your business that you spend a minimum of 70% back into advertising. That sounds like a lot. Sacrifice your lifestyle. Nobody's going to know what you're doing. You know, to this day, I have people that I approached 10, 15 years ago to join my company. I was one of those guys that everybody ran to see. I mean, man. My cousin Brent called me up the other day. He said, "Hey Mark, I'm watching on Facebook. I see you traveling all around. I see you just bought that new Porsche. Man, can you show me what you do?" I said, "Tried to show you what I did 15 years ago, Brent." "Yeah, but I'm ready now." I said, "Well, I'm not ready for you." And I don't mean that maliciously either, because I love my cousin and I'll help him any way I can. But I've got to know that he's going to invest the time. How many here have kids? To me, it's frustrating. I've got three older kids, 23, my son, my biological son, Mark, 22, Brandon, my melded son, and then graduating this coming weekend, my son, Hazen. All three of them separate and distinct, but they work for me at the grocery store. And the older ones I've said, listen guys, if you can commit, 8 to 10 hours a week, I can pretty much in a month and a half, 2 months, guarantee you guys $2,000 a month additional income. Oh, that sounds cool. Been making this offer for the last year and a half. How many hours do you think they've sat with me? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You guys are here to drink. Okay? Now you have to go out in the world and excuse this, but you got to piss it out. And you got to get it out there to everybody. You've got to become the guy or the girl. You've got to tell your story of how you got here. So BDIL, that's one of them, okay? And then I'm going to wrap up here in a few minutes. I know he was joking with me going an hour and a half. And I'm not gonna. So using stories, that's what this has all been about this weekend. One of the biggest claims to success for me has been edifying. Everybody knows what edifying is.
Yes.
Whenever I speak, it's humbling for me. It's hard for me to say that I just bought a Porsche because I keep it covered up and hidden. It's kind of funny because I grew up in the grocery business. As my father had his success, I remember him buying his first Mercedes, but he didn't dare drive it in the parking lot because the customers would say, oh, you're ripping us off. Or the employees would say, oh, he's doing well. We're not making enough money. Because that's how people think. Okay? And because of that upbringing, I haven't gone out. I don't think I've posted one picture of my Porsche. My wife's posted it all over the place on my own Facebook page because of that upbringing, which is just silly because we should celebrate our successes. And that's what you need to do no matter how small it is. How many people here, and don't be embarrassed because we're here to learn and teach and grow. How many people here have not made their first penny online? Raise a hand. You're one mind shift away from success. Plain and simple. One mind shift away from success. How many people here have made $50 to $250 and that's it? Wow, you guys are great. That deserves a round of applause because most people pay $100. Okay? You need to celebrate those small successes. Okay, that doesn't mean go out and blow it by celebrating. Say, okay, how can I make scalability? Joel will tell you, we had a challenge with pure leverage. It exploded so big, we had a challenge with scalability. We weren't prepared. Joel wasn't prepared on the back end for 4,000 tickets a day. What saved him? What we've been talking about all weekend. Transparency. What did Joel do? Came right out on his blog, guys. We didn't expect this. He explained the whole story. Transparency saved that business, plain and simple. Now we're down to like 200 tickets a day, plenty more staff, and things are just smooth sailing. Okay, but you've got to be able to have that scalability. One other thing I do before I wrap it up and talk about where I envision seeing you guys in the near future is take everything you've learned. If you can go out on an event with one aha moment. Every time you go to a webinar, every time you go to an event, I try to come up with just one thing. If I get more than one, it's a bonus. But here's the thing. After you find that one aha moment, you need to put it into action. How many people have a JOB? They have to go to work every day. That's great. And we'll get you out of that, but don't just quit it. One of the best things that's ever happened to us, Joel and I were here on Sunday, we were a little bit bored, and I happened to check some posts of a gal by the name of Alicia that posted on Facebook that in the month of April, since she joined, she signed up a 20-person downline, and she had her first $1,600 day. Alicia's a freaking rock star. Well, how surprised do you think she was when her phone rang and Joel and I were on the other end? That's how you change your association. This girl is actually doing it traditional. She hasn't even built a list yet. If she can make $1,600 doing it traditional, how much can you guys make knowing what Russell's taught you over the last day and a half? Really? That's what it's about to me now. It's about the average, everyday person. When you start to have success, your credibility actually goes down, not up. Here's the challenge I have now, and I'm not walking over here because that blinds me, so I'm not ignoring you guys. Here's the challenge I have now. People know I have a big house. They know I have the nice car. They know that I've done this. I know that I've done that. And they said, well, it's easy for you. You've got money. That's why you got to go back to exactly what this sheet says, and you got to have the story. Marshall Silver is a friend of mine also. One of his famous sayings is, savor the wanting as much as the having. Savor the wanting as much as the having. You know how you feel when Christmas time comes around, when you were a kid, and that anticipation, and then opening gifts, and then all of a sudden after you were like this? And I'm still like that, because that's what Christmas is like. Savor the wanting as much as the having. I do that now. I want to get to $100,000 a month. I'm going to savor that wanting as much as the having. And then I'll set another goal that I can savor the wanting as much as I have. The goals don't have to be huge. I personally don't write goals down. I personally don't. There's other people in this room that will tell you write every single goal down. But I do visualize. I live as is, not as if. So the Pure Leverage suite of tools, you guys are in the right place at the right time with the right leader sitting in the back row. Nobody disagrees with that, right? You guys have a system coming out that's going to help you promote 100% payout commissions with a company that's bringing the professionalism in the industry for this 100% payout up a notch, in my opinion. You guys, it's just begun. It starts with every single one of you going out and building your team, because I know what's coming with Pure Leverage. I know what's coming with Russell's system. You put the two of them together, there's no reason why any one of you right now, when this system launches, can't get yourself to $20,000 or $30,000 a month. I mean that as a realistic goal. I am dead serious. There's no reason whatsoever. Every single person in this room cannot get to $20,000 or $30,000 a month. Can you guys live on $20,000 or $30,000 a month? No, you can't. You think you can. And that's what happens, folks. So here's the thing. This girl that we talked about, Alicia, she's absolutely a freaking rock star. She quit her job, too. I was a little nervous about that. But she's like, I was working 14, 15 hours a day. If I can make $1,600 a day, imagine what I can do not having a job. I don't recommend that. Here's what I recommend. We talk about BEIL, where you spend your money. Until you're investing enough in your business to pay down some of your debt, because that's just like profit in your pocket, okay? Don't quit your job. Make pretend you don't have that money. Don't go out and buy a new car. Okay? Don't do that. Be smart, guys. Don't do what I did. I could have retired from my traditional businesses years ago if I had done that. Don't learn from my mistakes. Okay? I know it's great to show the flash and want to be the guy and the girl and the success, but you can do that quietly behind the scenes, and bang, everybody's going to come flocking to you if you do it right. So, Pure Leverage has changed my life, obviously. It started with the GBO conference. They're tools that are ever evolving with a CEO that cares, with leaders like Russell Brunson, who are developing systems based entirely around them. If you go out and add up what it would take for you to buy these tools separately, you're saving yourself about $250, so it's just silly not to have them, not to present them. If you don't want to present a business opportunity, I've gone with the approach now in my advertising that let me save you a couple $100 a month. Who's your market? And by the way, the letter R is not in the alphabet in Maine, if you can't tell. So I hope you can understand when I park the car in the garage. Who's your target? Network marketers, folks. Need these tools. There's a great little feature as you become a leader. You learn to write emails. You can let your affiliates steal your emails. There's 2 boxes when you import a campaign. I'm going to do a whole webinar on this. You can actually let somebody import your campaign, change the global fields, but when you add a letter to that campaign, it adds it to theirs. When you change the subject line, it changes on theirs. Imagine you being the leader and getting the signups because you're going to let them use your campaign. Do it for them. You guys have the education in front of you to do this. It's time to put it in action. So, any questions at all? And I'd love to get interaction too. Is there anybody here that has questions and there's nothing, no holding anything back before I wrap up and turn it back over to Russell?
Are you going to do the training, or have you done the training on that last little bit that you just talked about, of sharing campaigns?
Actually, we're going to be doing that this Thursday night.
Great. Okay.
This Thursday night, I'm going to be sharing exactly how that works.
Good.
So are you going to record it, so
Yes.
that for those that can't watch it?
Here's the challenge, guys. My webinars, the regular tools training is available at the $24.95 level for replay. Guess what? My trainings are only available if you're a VIP. Anybody here not a VIP in Pure Leverage? Get it done today. And this is why. Because every single day, guys, my income increases because I get $97 payments because someone below me has not bought the $97 product. That's just silly. I love making money, but my stomach turns when I take that money. Now I've got that the rest of my career. That person's mine. All it takes is one person to make your money back. Just commit to making your money back. My webinars, we decided, because we do the advanced training, so like Russell's doing for you right now, are only available, and we bring on guests like Russell. There's a lot of learning that you get in there. David Fry is doing some stuff. So those are only available in the VIP. Any other questions? Come on, there's got to be some questions. Don't be shy.
What's his name? What?
That's it.
I got a question. In your quoting of Pure Leverage, what percentage do you say you're promoting the product and the business?
I just started promoting the product. The business sells out 90 to 1. Hands down, guys, I'm sorry. Money sells, tools don't. Joel's always had this saying, I don't know where he got it from. I'm lucky because I can just regurgitate stuff that people said that makes me look cool. But what is it, Joel? You sell them what they want, but give them what they need.
Yeah.
So write that down. Sell them what they want, which is the lifestyle, but then give them what they need.